Hello guys, Rollbat1 here, coming at you with my first place sneak attack regional deck profile, guys. We came first at the sneak attack regional. We've got the lovely mat here of the Illusion of Chaos. We've got the lovely deck box. We got our prize is from this event. We came first at a regionals, and I can't believe it. After so long, we actually managed to come first. But guys, we came first to this regional. We did really well through 7 rounds of Swiss, going against so many different decks and basically playing really competitive players out of 128 people, and we managed to come first, and I just can't believe it, guys. Honestly, absolutely insane, absolutely crazy, and I'm very happy to show you guys this deck profile because I really did put a lot of thought into this, and a lot of you out there know that I was playing this deck without Scythe DP before, so as soon as we lost it, I was literally just like, okay, I don't care, I can play this deck still. And I even thought of some new text to go along with it to make the deck even better. So guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the deck itself, and let's go ahead and get into it because honestly, absolutely insane deck. Really strong deck, and I was really happy with how it performed throughout the day. So let's go ahead and start off with our matches that we actually played. So round 1 was against Hero. It was 2-1. Pretty good games with him. Game 1 was pretty much I just went through him. Game 2 was he won the game, and then game 3 I just went through him again. Round 2 was against Sword Soul, Swift 2-0. Pretty much he was a good player, but he just didn't end on very nice boards. He never made the Baroness, which was kind of strange to me, and I was just able to play through his entire board because he didn't make the Baroness. Round 3 was the Stream feature match, which was against Sword Soul, 2-1 to me. Pretty much that game was game 1. I go ahead and go full board, I believe. Then game 2 he wins because he's able to make a pretty decent board, and I'm not able to break because I didn't open the best. And then game 3 I just go ahead and build a board, but it wasn't the strongest board, and he attempts to play through it, and he ends up making a misplay somewhere and was unable to play the game, and I just won from there. Round 4 was against Salamangreat, Joe White Salamangreat. Game 1, he hand traps me to death. Game 2, I just go ahead and make full board and kill him. Game 3, he kind of bricks, and I'm just able to play through him. He's not able to do anything to me, so I was just able to win the game from there. Round 5 against Branded. Game 1, I make my entire board and Ophion in response to Branded Fusion and win the game there. Game 2, I drolled him. He wasn't able to play through droll, and I was able to win that match. Round 6 was against P.U.N.K, which was actually a really interesting game. Game 1 was pretty much to just set up my full board and Ophion into a Furion King, so he wasn't able to summon the Furion King, and I was just able to win the game there. Round 2, he goes his entire combo, ending on a board that can Scythe Lock with Baroness, a Shooting Rise of Dragon, and Dagda. He goes ahead and banishes the Needle Fiber, summons out a TG Wonder Magician. I chain a Droplets, discarding an Nibiru and an Ash Blossom, but he goes ahead and still is able to Scythe Lock me because he goes ahead and change Cooled by the Grave, and then chains Snow to just, you know, just say no to his board and be able to still Scythe Lock, which was kind of upset to me, but I just go ahead and then evenly matched him. He ends with the Baron, and from that on, he just goes ahead and makes like a red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, but he used the Baron Negate already. Isn't able to kill me. End phase, I summon back a Torn Scale and a Cloak because I go ahead and had the Fogblade in graveyard, special summon them both. Go ahead and draw for turn. Warrior Enchantress discards it. He surrenders. He knows his game from there. Round 7 was the final match, which was also a feature match, which was against Alex Moffat. Honestly, great game against him as well. Game 1, I go pretty much full combo. I wasn't able to make the best board because I think I opened like 2 Water Enchantress and no Phantom Knights or Burning Abyss cards, so I wasn't really able to do anything. But we were able to end on Ophion, and he's just not able to play through Ophion, so we win the game there. And then game 2, he goes first. He has the cross out for my Ash, so he goes ahead and Mirror Jades. Has some other plays that kind of prevent me from playing the game, and then that's pretty much all she wrote because I didn't open the best hand. I think I opened like a really awkward hand where I didn't have much that I could actually do, so it just cost me the game and I wasn't able to play around everything. And then game 3, pretty much D-Barrier won me the match, and yeah, like I had other plays I could have Ophioned, but he had the Duster, I had a Fogblade so I could negate things. Like, it was a weird game, but nonetheless, it was a win to me, and that was the final round, and I was able to win the regional because of that. But guys, honestly, it was an insane event. All the people there were great. The TOs and the judges were all really nice people, and I couldn't believe how many times the TO just came up and talked to the players there and literally said, yo, you could have done this, so why didn't you? And he was just trying to help them get better at the game. So that was just a really good shout out. And the streaming team was also really, really nice, and everybody was just really nice and supportive of all the players they talked to, and I just found that really, really good. So big shout out to Sneak Attack Games because of that, because they really have gone up a notch, especially seeing as their last couple of regionals, they've been decent, but the last one where it was in that little church hall was just, it was packed and barely anywhere to play. But honestly, the event was nice, the venue was nice, and I'm really happy with it. So big shout out for the improvements, guys, and I'm really happy to see that. But guys, without further ado though, let's actually get into the deck profile though, so you guys can see what you're here for, to see what actually won the event. So let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. So starting off, let's go into the Phantom Knights. We're going to go look at all of these. So we're playing 3 Torn Scale, 3 Boots, 2 Ancient Cloak, 1 Ragged Gloves, and 1 Stained Greaves. You play this lineup because this is the best ratios for this deck. Pretty much you've got the 3 Torn Scales here to be free revival from the graveyard whenever you banish another Phantom Knight, and is also free discard to essentially allow you to go into all combo plays in this deck which don't involve the Brave Engine if you normal summon Torn Scale and then search. And honestly, it's just absolutely insane. It is your main starter in the deck, so you have to be playing 3 of this card. Like, it's insane. 3 summons, full access into your gloves, full access into your Ancient Cloak to search the boots, full access into your Greaves. Like, it gives you access into any play in this entire deck, so you need to be playing 3 of this card. 3 boots, he is the literal best extender in the deck, because if you open any of these PKs, or even himself, 2 copies of himself, you just go ahead and normal summon 1, special summon the other, and then just go Chirubini, I'm going to play the game with full combo. You have to be playing 3 of this card. It is necessary to play 3 of this card, because not only does he free special summon, but he also allows you to search your rank up magic launch or a rank up or a Phantom Knight's Fog Blade from your deck to your hand, which can just give you access to a negate or give you access into Ophion as well, which is really, really nice. And he can also give you access into other really good things, such as discards for the Torn Scale to give you like a Fog Blade in graveyard or a Wings Engrave, and it can also give you access into just more combo extension overall, which is really, really good. So you need to be playing 3 of him and 3 of him. We only play 2 Ancient Cloak though. The reason behind this is because you don't need more than 2. He's literally just there to go to graveyard, banish him, search like a Boots or a Greaves, and then trigger the Torn Scale to go ahead and, you know, special summon more stuff to go further combos. You don't need to be playing more than 2 of this card. Like, it's there for additional extension, and you're always going to be summoning him back from the banish zone as well, with like Levianair the Sea Dragon. So he's always going to be coming back. You're always going to have him, and literally you only need 2. I would not play more than 2 of this, but if you do draw him with Boots and Ancient Cloak, like that's not a bad thing. Like, drawing Ancient Cloak Boots is always going to be nice, but you only need 2 of this card. 1 Ragged Gloves, he's literally only there to go ahead and put a trap card in the graveyard to special summon things. Yes, he can sometimes put an Ancient Cloak in the graveyard to give us an additional extension. Yes, he can sometimes put a Boot to give us a spell or trap. Yes, he can sometimes put a Torn Scales to go ahead and allow us to get that free special summon. But his main utility in this deck is to go ahead and put either a Fog Blade or a Wings in the graveyard to allow us to summon back our Breaksword to go ahead and then Ophion. It is mainly there for that. It is mainly there to give us the additional extension, and the fact that we can just banish it, put a Wings Engrave, special summon a Phantom Knight and special summon a Torn Scale, then go into like a Zeus or go into an Xyz play. It comes up a lot and is actually really, really good, so you need to be playing 1 of him. And if you feel like you're going to need him later on in the game as well, after banishing him, you just summon him back with Levianair and continue on with your day. So card is important. You play him at 1, you don't need more than 1. And then 1 Greaves, this card is literally only here if you've already special summoned your Silent Boots. Pretty much, if you've opened a hand that has got like Torn Scale and Boots, the card that you're going to be going ahead and searching with your Ancient Cloak when you're special summoning the Torn Scales is going to be the Greaves, because the Greaves says when you special summon a Phantom Knight monster, you special summon him from your hand. He's literally only there to be the alternative special summon means to the Boots, and you can special summon him later on through the combo as well with the Levianair by special summoning him after you've gone ahead and triggered the Levianair to special summon like a Cloak back or the Gloves back or maybe a Boots that you've banished. But he is mainly there just to be an additional special summon if you've already used the Boots, and you kind of have to play him for that reason because he comes up a lot at that point, but you only play 1 because you don't want to draw him. You don't need him in your opening hand, and you play him at 1 for that reason. So yeah, but those are all the PKs we play. That's the reasoning behind them. You don't need to add any more PKs. This is the perfect ratio of Phantom Knights in my personal opinion, so you don't really need more. 3 Boots, 3 Torn Scales is the right amount, 2 Cloaks is all you need, and then 1 Gloves, 1 Greaves. It's all enough there. Going into the next package of the deck though, we go into the free Water Enchantress and the Griffin Rider. Pretty much, one, we're not playing Illegal Knight. I don't think the card is needed, and I would rather have the Omni Negate. And two, you need to play free Water Enchantress. This card is insane in this deck. And I'm going to be honest, if you're not playing free Water Enchantress in this deck, you are not playing this deck correctly for a multitude of reasons. One, this is a free level 3 extension that can just give you everything you want in this game. Two, this card searches Rite of Armisia, which can give you Faithful Adventure, which literally just says you get more discard fodder, you get the ability to search the Griffin Rider, you get to do everything in your game possible. This card is everything you want in a rank 3 turbo deck and more. Just to the fact that you can go ahead and search it, discard it with the Faithful Adventure, banish it, search a Rite of Armisia from your hand or graveyard, gives you the additional discard fodder for like the Torn Scale at times. Just the fact that you can literally open 2 of this card and go full combo. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I believe it was on stream where I opened literally 2 of this card and novel cards, and I just literally went banish, search the right, grab right activate, search Faithful Adventure, play Faithful Adventure with a token, go ahead and use Faithful Adventure, go ahead and get like the other War Enchantress, discard a dead card, and then just have 2 on board, make Cherubini, go into BA plays, and then just end on an Ophion and win the match because of that. Like, honestly, the War Enchantress plays are insane and very, very important in this deck. So you really do want to be playing free of this card because it's just a free extension. It's free discard fodder. It literally gives you more cards and it gives you access into the entire Brave engine, which literally just says, oh yeah, I can end on an Omni Negate and a Compulse with the Dracoback Rider. This is a very important engine. You need to be playing free War Enchantress. It is vital to the deck in my opinion. And honestly, if you're going to cut anything from this deck, you can cut Rite of Armisia before you cut Enchantress, because you can literally just banish this card from the graveyard and then add the Rite of Armisia from the graveyard. So, guys, I'm going to be honest. If you play this deck, you play free. It's very important. It's very needed. And just the fact that it's a free extension is absolutely insane. Like, you could open Rite and this with, like, any level 3 and go full combo. And that happened multiple times throughout the day where we just, like, opened Rite plus this, no Phantom Knight. And because we literally just had the second Enchantress, we won the game. Like, it was very, very strong and very, very good. Like, you don't need to be playing anymore. And obviously the Griffin's Rider is just there for the Omni Negate. He helps you protect your Ophion, he helps you protect your back row. Can play around hand traps like Nibiru. Card is very good, card is very strong because of that. Going into other cards though, we do play 1 Graph, 1 Seer. What can I say? These 2 are literally here for combo extension. Say you've opened a hand where you've got like the Torn Scale, you've got the Boots, you've opened the Rite of Armisia, and you don't need anything else. You know what you send off that Cherubini? You send the Graph to summon the Seer, and then you make the Levianeer the Sea Dragon to summon back the Graph. It's literally just there to give you that additional bit of extension plays, so you can go ahead and make the Utopic Future Draco, you can go ahead and make a Time Thief Redoer, and you can still end on Ophion with Fogblade set. Like, honestly, these 2 cards give you so much more advantage in the deck. That's absolutely insane, and I will be honest, it does kind of suck if you draw the Seer over the Graph, because you can just discard the Graph, summon the Seer from the deck, and then Seer do the thing, and just summon the Graph back. But you don't want to draw this one, because this one is just the worst card to draw in the deck. Like, honestly, I'll be 100% with all of you. If you draw this card over this one, it sucks. If you draw this one, at least you can go ahead and discard it to go ahead and summon the Seer and still do plays. I just wanted to mention that I didn't draw this throughout the day, thankfully, but if I did, it would have kind of sucked at times, but I think we'd still been able to play with it, because technically you can still use this later on in the game, where you've got the Cherubini in the graveyard, so you go ahead and just discard this off like the Faithful Adventure or maybe a Torn Scales, summon back the Cherubini, and then just put another level 3 engrave to go ahead and do other level 3 things. But I'll be honest, we never want to draw this one. But honestly, the fact that these cards give you those additional combo extensions is very, very important. And I'll be honest, guys, you can play this deck without them, but I highly recommend you don't. Because in my testing, I found these 2 cards very, very important a lot of the times. And the fact that you can just go into a hand that has 2 level 3 monsters that aren't Phantom Knights, and you don't have any other way to get to a Phantom Knight, and these 2 cards literally say, oh yeah, I send the Graph to the graveyard, I get the Seer, and then we can use the Cherubini and the Seer to go into a Rusty Bodies to go ahead and get the Fogblade from deck to have a negate, or giving us the ability to go into Phantom Knight plays, or just the fact that we can go, oh yeah, we can go ahead and then just detach the Seer, summon back the Graph, and then go ahead and just make more extension plays is just absolutely insane. And these 2 cards come up way too much for you not to play them. So I'll be honest with you guys, play these if you're going to play this deck. absolutely insane, and I never had a bad time with them. If you, as I did say, if you draw the seer, it sucks, but at the end of the day, it's a necessary evil. Like, it's if you draw the Draco back, it sucks, but you can still use it later on. Also, it's just a free level 3 extension. Say you've not even opened the Brave package yet, you can just summon the Seer under the Cherubini and just be like, cool. It can come up. It can come up. But yeah. Next, we only play one Trekker and one Wielder, wrong way around, but still. We play one of each of these. These are literally here just for the additional level 3 extensions. I don't like to play multiple of these just for the fact that if you open multiple of these cards, it's not going to be good, because if you've opened them with a Phantom Knight, you would rather summon the Phantom Knight over normal summoning one of these, because then you can go ahead and put it in the graveyard and then go ahead and use the Cherubini to go ahead and just send a Phantom Knight to graveyard. And also, I feel like you don't need more than 2 of these, because you've got this one, it's a free special summon that allows you to go into Cherubini. You've got this one, it's a free summon that allows you to go into Cherubini. You've got the Emergence Teleports, which I play at 2. You don't necessarily need more when you've got 1 in 1. Like, I felt like 1 in 1 was the perfect ratio. They're basically additional copies of Phantom Knight's boots, just so we can get that additional free special summon to go into Cherubini. Like, they're literally only there for that / free rank 3 extension. So I was fine with playing 1 in 1, and I felt like that was the perfect ratio. I didn't need more. I never felt like I needed more. So yeah, you only need 1 in 1. You can play more, but I feel like just the fact that it's a hard once per turn to special summon either of them just really does hinder it and makes me not want to play more of it. So we only play 1 in 1. Going on to hand traps, we play 3 Ash Blossom and 2 Infinite Impermanence. Now, the reasoning behind the 3 Ash Blossom and the 2 Infinite Impermanence is pretty simple. We play 3 Ash because it's one of the most versatile hand traps in the game, being able to stop cards like Branded Fusion, Halki Firebrax, literally anything we could really want to stop in the game, we can stop with this card. Hell, it could stop a Hero Lives. I didn't do it on a Hero Lives round 1, but you could have stopped a Hero Lives with it. And we also play 2 Infinite Impermanence because I just feel like it's one of the more versatile cards, and it has really good synergy against a lot of different things. 1, it can negate that Bloody Wind Barrier statue if you're up against Flunderees. And 2, the card in general can just stop a lot of really niche things that come up, such as, oh, your opponent has 1 Omni Negate, such as maybe like Sword Soul, so you can go ahead and either force the negate or just get rid of it. Oh, you're up against something like, I don't know, maybe a mirror match with Ophion. If you're playing a level 5 or higher deck, this card can stop it. Like, I feel like Infinite Impermanence is just a really, really good hand trap. And when I was looking at all the hand traps in the format, I was like, yes, I could play DD Crow, yes, I could play other sorts of things, but I really felt like Infinite Impermanence was just a lot stronger in comparison to these cards, because just being able to get rid of an Omni Negate, or just being able to just get rid of literally just in a floodgate effect, or just being able to prevent your opponent from being able to use an effect on their turn that could potentially allow them to just win the game, was really, really strong. And especially against Branded, where if they haven't got lost, you can just go ahead and use this on the Albion or the Lubellion. It was pretty much just a wrap at that point, I thought, and yeah, it was just really, really strong. So I didn't think we really needed to play any other hand traps, and we only played 5 in the main deck because I literally didn't think we would need more, because a lot of the time we can just break our opponent's board anyway, so it just didn't really need to play more, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, going on to spells though, we play 3 Rites of Armesia, 1 Faithful Adventure, and 1 Dracoback Rider. Pretty much, this is the ratio that I chose to play. We played, obviously, the 3 War Enchantress and the 1 Griffin Rider, and then we play the 3 Rite, the 1 Faithful, and the 1 Dracoback. Reasoning behind this is literally, we want to open Rite with a War Enchantress, and we also would like to open the, well, Rite with literally anything else in our deck. Rite of Armesia is literally a 1-card Omni Negate in this deck, where you can literally just go ahead and search everything, normal summon a monster, get the Draco back with the Faithful Adventure, and then just discard the Draco back, equip it to the token, and just special summon the Griffin Rider for a free Omni Negate. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And we also just play this ratio because, well, I did kind of want to play a second Faithful Adventure, but the reasoning I didn't was because I don't want to brick on it. I really don't want to open the Faithful Adventure. Yes, it can be sometimes decent where we do, giving us that additional level 3 extender, which can also go ahead and lead to a Rite of Armesia. But the whole point of Faithful Adventure, in my personal opinion, is to activate it from the deck with Rite of Armesia, so that way you already have the token to summon out the Griffin Rider. So I didn't really want to draw that card. And also, the only other brick in the deck, Dracoback Rider, honestly, if you draw it, it does suck, but at the end of the day, it's just a card that you kind of have to necessarily play, because if it's a free discard, it can just re-equip to the token. And also, this card says no to every floodgate in the game. Oh, my opponent has a Mystic Mine? Cool, I'm just going to activate a Dracoback from the deck, and then, you know, get rid of the Mystic Mine. Like, this card is really, really strong and really, really nice, and honestly, I just felt it was necessary in the deck, and this is the perfect ratio, I think. Like, honestly, think 3 Water Enchantress, 1 Griffin, and then 1 Faithful with 1 Dracoback is the perfect ratio. You don't need a Legal Knight, as I said, and just the fact that 1 Rat of Armisia can lead to a combo that literally just says, oh yeah, you can't negate me, so now I'm just going to summon 2 level 3s and just kill you. It's just really, really strong. So in this deck especially, it's really nice. And also the Faithful Adventure just gives you free discards as well, allowing you to put like the Fog Blades and also the Wings in your hand into the graveyard to give you 3 more extension, which is just really, really strong and really, really nice there too. So yeah. Going on to other spells though, we played 3 Forbidden Droplets. Reasoning behind this is pretty simple. We can just break any board we want with this card. Like if our opponent has a full Omni Negate board, then we're going to go ahead and break it with this single card. Discard a ton of cards, negate things, and just win the game there. Yeah, it did kind of lose to a Called by the Grave at one point in round 6, as I said earlier on, but nonetheless, the card was really, really strong and was really good throughout the day. And honestly, I don't really care if you guys say you should play less of this. I think the card is really nice, just being able to negate Mirror Jades, being able to negate Baronesses, just being able to negate anything, and being able to just discard Phantom Knights or Water Enchantresses, cards that we can use to play with in our graveyard. It's just really, really strong. Being that the best time I used it was discarding a Nibiru and also literally an Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs, because I just let my opponent go full combo because I was like, okay, you can go full combo, I'm not going to care. It was great, and honestly, this card is insane, just being able to let us break boards. So honestly, I think it's a free of in this deck as a must, because it just gives you graveyard potential and just negates your opponent board, which allows you to play the game. Like, honestly, if we open 1 Droplets and 2 PKs, one of them being Torn Scale, for instance, and we just negate, like, 2 things, we can just go ahead and then summon back the 2 PKs and just go ahead and make Zeus and then attack with, like, attack with a Break Sword, make Zeus, clear our opponent's board, and then we still have 1 Zeus left because we make it with 4 materials. So card is absolutely insane. It's really, really good. Just helps us break any board in the game. Continuing on though, we played 2 Emergence Teleports. These are literally just here for rank 3 extension, just like we played the Psychic Wielder and Tracker for. We only can summon those off the deck, but I feel like you only need 2 because honestly we're playing 2-2. So we played 2 Psychics, 2 E-Tele, and I did try it 3, but I felt like drawing the 3rd one did really just suck. So we only need the 2 Emergence Teleport. And then the only other 2 extenders in the spell category is 1 Reinforcements Army and 1 Foolish Burial. These are literally the most insane cards in this deck, because if you open either of them, you can literally go into any play you want. You open the Rotor, cool. I can literally just go ahead and get a Torn Scales, go into the whole Phantom Knight combo, and just end on a really strong board. Oh, I open the Foolish Burial, cool. I can send a Phantom Knight to the grave, or I can send a Water Enchantress to the grave, which will just allow me to go into the Brave combo or go into the Phantom Knight combo. Like, honestly, opening either of these 2 cards is absolutely insane, and they're 2 of the strongest one-offs in the game, especially in this deck. And every time I open them, I didn't regret it, honestly. Like, these cards are absolutely insane and definitely needed in this deck. So really, really good cards there. And then we played 1 Called by the Grave. Because it's Called by the Grave, this card can stop Branded Red, this card can stop hand traps, this card can stop a lot of different things, and you do kind of need it at 1, and it did win me quite a few games as well, which was really, really nice. And we also played the last spell card, 1 Rank Up Magic Launch, because this card is just here to make Ophion. And yes, it does have some unique potential as well, where you can go ahead and banish it from the graveyard, equip a Phantom Knight onto like your Break Sword, so you can go ahead and use the Break Sword again. But yeah, we're just going to always use this to make Ophion. And the fact that it's a quick play spell as well means that we can make Ophion in response to Branded Fusion, Branded Red, literally your opponent attempting to summon any Therions. Like, that happened throughout the tournament, and it was really insane how we were just able to do that, and they just scooped because it was like, oh yeah, we can't play the game, he's got Ophion. So yeah, those were all the spell cards though. Going into the trap cards, we only played 2 Fogblade and 1 Wings. Pretty much, this is all you need. You play the Wings just because it's an alternative means to special summon, because there is a lot of times where you need that second trap card to special summon in the same turn. And then we play 2 Fogblade because there are games where you would rather make 2 Fogblades, such as if you're up against Flunderies or up against a deck that doesn't summon level 5s. We just side out the launch, so you can go ahead and set 2 Fogblade on turn 1 instead of having a Fogblade and a launch. And also, you just want the ability to banish from grave to special summon your Phantom Knights. So cards are really, really strong. You don't need to be playing any more traps. Like, you could potentially play the Shade Brigandine, but in this build, I don't think it's necessary, so I didn't bother playing it, and I never missed it. Literally, it wasn't needed at all, and it was fine. Going on to the extra deck, though, guys, we played the 1 Cherubini. It's Cherubini. Send any level 3 to the graveyard is absolutely insane. He is the key piece to majority of our combos, and the fact that Konami thought it was okay making a card that says you can literally activate its effect, send a level 3 to graveyard as cost, and then just do things is really, really insane, and is just a really, really mad card. So we play him at 1. 1 Dark Charmer. He's just there to kind of like have rank up plays where you can go into him, then go into Nightmare Unicorn, then potentially go into an Access Code Talker. He's only really there for that. We didn't really make him a lot throughout the tournament. I think we only made him once with like maybe stealing something from graveyard and then just going into some play to kill my opponent. I don't think we really used him all that often, but he's there for those times. Rusty Bardiche, one of the best cards in the deck, obviously. He's always at the end of our combo where we just go ahead and use him to set a Fog Blade / put the Ragged Gloves in the graveyard, so we can then banish the Ragged Gloves to put like a Wings or a Fog Blade in our grave, to then special summon the Breaksword back. He can also go ahead and pop the Breaksword to allow us to make Redo, which is really good at times as well, and is really insane. Just being able to set Fog Blade, put Phantom Knights in the graveyard, really, really strong, and just allows us to combo a lot of the time too, which I think is really, really nice about this card. 1 Nightmare Unicorn. It's just a link free that can go ahead and make Access Code Talker a really big monster. That's his whole point. That's the whole reason we play him. And he's really, really good because of that. Just being able to make Access Code 5k really, really strong. And yes, he can sometimes come up where we just go ahead and bounce something back into the deck. But I didn't use that effect once throughout the tournament. So it never really came up. But he's there for pretty much just helping us OTK. And then the 1 Access Code Talker, because I kill one thing, then I hit you for 5k and OTK. He's the main way that we can OTK in this deck, and he does come up a lot where it's just a free removal to go ahead and OTK our opponent. So we do want to be playing him in the deck, and he is very, very nice. And yes, we only play Dark Link monsters, which I guess is kind of a downfall to some people, but honestly, he's not there for the pop. As I said, he's there to just be able to OTK our opponent. So we never actually need him. Plus, if we make him, we're going to Unicorn effect anyway, so that's kind of 2 pops to begin with. So yeah, like, he's there to OTK. I only summoned him once, and with that once, we won the game. So it was really, really strong there. Going on to Xyz monsters, though, we played 2 Levianeer the Sea Dragon. This is very important. You need to play 2 Levianeer the Sea Dragon because you are always going to make 2 if you're going into Utopic Future Draco. You make 2 Levianeer, you go ahead and make the Utopic Future, and then you go ahead and make the Utopic Future Draco, allowing you to summon back 2 of your Phantom Knights that you banished to allow you to go into the Rusty Bardiche, which will allow you to then set up your plays for the following turn. Like, honestly, these 2 cards are very vital. You need to be playing 2 in this deck, and just the ability to summon back your PKs from the Banish Zone should already tell you how important this card is in the deck. So honestly, guys, this is a 2-of. It's mandatory, and I would not change this ratio whatsoever because he's so important at 2 in this deck, and I cannot stress this enough. If you're playing the Utopic Future Draco package, you play 2 of this card. If you cut that package, yeah, you can cut 1. But this ratio is important otherwise, so you need to be playing him at 2, and it's just very, very strong. 2 Breaksword. Pretty much we play 2 because on turn 1 we're just going to burn 1 to be able to make Ophion a lot of the time, and then the second one there is for further on plays down the game. So say you need the second Breaksword to pop something, you just have him there to be able to have that potential pop ability. So he's there for that. He's there for the late game. He's also there for turn 1 to just link off into like a Rusty Bardiche and then summon him back from the graveyard to then turning him into Ophion. Whole point of the card there, very important, and it's very nice to just have that additional pop at times. Going on to the other stuff, we play the Utopic Future Draco package, as I said. This card is absolutely insane. Just 2 rank 3s go into Utopic Future, then you go ahead and put Utopic Future Draco on top of it. It's a free monster negate that can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and can also snatch steal your opponent's cards. Like, the card is very strong, the card is very good, and I would not underestimate this card whatsoever. And then we play 1 Time Thief Redoer. Pretty much we play him for the combo where we can end on him plus the Ophion along with the Utopic Future Draco package, or we just end on him plus the Ophion and then the Rusty Bardiche, because we can sometimes go into a combo where we make the Rusty Bardiche and then we make the Breaksword after summoning the Rusty Bardiche, so then we summon 2 PKs back and then just make the Redoer. So he's pretty much just there for that, and it did come up a few times where we could just steal our opponent's card. I believe on stream I stole both my opponent's Pot of Desires and just drew 2 cards because of it, so it's just like, that was hilarious and was really, really strong there as well. So very, very good. Very, very nice. And then the man of the show, the man who won me only 3 games throughout the entire tournament, 1 Ophion. Literally, he is only here for his first line of text that says, neither player can special summon level 5 or higher monsters. The fact that this format is fully revolvent around level 5 or higher monsters, be it Branded, be it Firion, be it Sword Soul, be it literally anything in the game right now, you are playing a level 5 or higher monster, and your deck needs to use them to win the game. And the fact that I can just summon Ophion and just win because of that, it's absolutely insane. It's better than the Scythe block because you don't need to be playing useless main deck cards outside of the Rank Match launch. If you draw the Rank Match launch, you can just use it anyway. The card is just really, really nice. You don't need to be playing anything to pop things. You don't need to rely on a lot of other cards, a lot of other engines. Like, this card is really easy to summon in this deck, and it's just really, really strong. And yes, he only won me 3 games, but if I summoned him in any other of my matches, if I summoned him against the hero player, the Sword Soul players, the branded players, or the P.U.N.K players more, I doubt they'd have been able to out it without drawing like Forbidden Droplets. So, card was very, very strong. Card was very, very nice and is very necessary in this deck, guys. I will not stress this enough. And the fact that we can make this, hell, that's just nuts in general. So yeah, very strong card, very nice card, and honestly won me a lot of games. And then the last 2 cards, one Down a Magician and one Zeus. Pretty much this is just here so we can go ahead and make 4 material Zeus. Like, comes up, it allows us to break the board. And honestly, I don't think I summoned Zeus throughout the entire tournament. I might have summoned, you know, I think I might have summoned it once, but I don't think I used its effect. I think it just got killed. Like, yeah, I don't think I really ever needed the Zeus. Like, I might have made it just so if they do break, like, the Brave package, I can go ahead and Zeus them, but I don't think I used it outside of that. It's there just as a board wipe, though. Pretty much, just that. No other reason. Going on to the side deck we played the one Barber. We never went into time, so it never came up. Pretty much, we played the Burning Abysses, so we played this to, you know, win in time. 3 Drawn and Lockbird. This format, the card's insane. It's good against Branded, it's good against Flunderies, it's good against pretty much any deck that searches or, like, the card is really, really strong. 3 Nibiru because I want to kill Sword Soul, so we go ahead and play 3 Nibiru to go ahead and, like, Nibiru the Sword Soul player. Like, I opened this card against the P.U.N.K player as well, but if he didn't go ahead and Adventure Package first, we would have probably been able to use this. 3 Lightning Storm because back row decks, Sword Soul decks, like just decks in general that make all their monsters in attack mode. It's just a very, very strong card and very, very nice card. 3 Evenly Matched because pretty much this is one of the best ways to end a branded player's life. Like, if you drop the Evenly Matched on a branded player, or say a big combo player or a back row based player, then they're just going to have to banish everything and they're going to have nothing left. And unless the branded player is playing Dragoon, then they just lose their entire board. So Evenly Matched is just really, really good, and I really like the card because of it. So 3 Evenly Matched. And then finally, 2-Dimensional Barrier. I don't think I have to explain this. This card is good against Sword Soul. This card is good against Branded. Like, honestly, the fact of the matter is this card can say no to whole mechanics in the game. And the fact that we can just flip the barrier, look at our opponent and be like, yeah, you can't summon your fusion monsters, you can't summon your synchro monsters, means that 9 times out of 10 when we do this, we're just gonna win. So the card is very, very strong and very, very nice. So, and the reason behind 2 of this is pretty simple. It's because we play Ophion. So we already have a way to go, kind of like lock our opponents out of those big summoning mechanics. So I don't really think the D barrier is ever needed up 3. Like, I could easily put it up 3 by cutting the bar, but I feel like 2 is enough, and I didn't really have a complaint with it. I felt like 2 was great, and I didn't really ever need the 3rd. So guys, that is pretty much the entire deck profile, though. Honestly, throughout the entire event, I didn't really have too much issues with the deck. I didn't really have any big problems that made me feel like I was going to lose. Like, I didn't really have any issues that made me feel like I was going to have a bad game. Like, honestly, throughout the entire tournament, the deck performed very, very well, and I feel like the deck was just great overall. And honestly, it was a great event, and I really do have to give it to Sneak Attack Games, doing their best to make a great tournament, a great regional. Like, 128 players is absolutely insane, and the fact that they did a whole streaming setup, the fact that they did all of this different stuff was absolutely insane, and I do have to give them props for it. And hell, the venue was insane. You guys will see it on the vlog that'll most likely be coming out on Friday, but honestly, just an absolutely insane event, and I do give props to them. But going on to shoutouts, I guess I'll shout out my mates, Reese and Mitch, just giving me lots of support, my team who gave me a lot of support as well, Sneak Attack Games, all the staff, all the Twitch streamers. Please, if you can get their link, I honestly cannot remember the Twitch name, I do apologize, but go ahead and check out their Twitch if you can find it. It's just really, really good. If I can find it after this, I'll go ahead and put it in the link description. And honestly, guys, honestly, just shout outs to all the people who I played against. They were all really, really nice players, and I just can't believe how good the tournament went. So guys, that's what I have to say. Thank you Sneak Attack Games for an amazing regional experience, and thank you everyone who played at the regional and everybody who was just great, the judges, everything along those lines. And honestly, it was just a great event. So guys, I hope you did enjoy this really in-depth deck profile for my first place regional Phantom Knight deck profile. I hope you did enjoy it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Robot 1 signing out. Hopefully we'll take this to Nats, and hopefully we'll win Nats with it. We'll see in a bit.